Technically speaking, technically speaking, I ain't talking vegan when I said that I've been eating, making money on the side, but I use it for the main.
Welcome back to another lesson here in the computer science course. We are on phase 2. We're coding. We just set up our developer station. You should have set up your developer station in the ending of phase 1, or I did have a small little video that I did post about, setting up your station. And hold on one moment. Let me share my screen here so you can see the notion, right? That's where we start off at. When it's time to, excuse me, when it's time to study, it's time to get into our tech studies, we go right into Notion and just start our lessons, okay? Now, just to recap, our development station, our developer station includes our laptop, smartphone, our operating system, the programming language that we want to use because we have a mission that we want to accomplish. We just don't code just for the hell of it. We code because we're trying to create or program some type of software. We'll be using HTML and CSS starting off, but definitely pick what programming language that you want to master or delve into. Your terminal, your shell, like command prompt or bash or PowerShell. Your text editor, I like to use Atom and Notepad++. Or you can use an IDE. We're not there yet, so just get a regular text editor. I'd say use Notepad, Notepad++. And your version control, you should have a GitHub account to where you can store your code, share your code, and just work with it with other people, right? So you have your station already set up. I already have mine set up. Obviously, we want to make sure that our station is good, our physical station is good. We have a mouse, we have a keyboard, all those things. Now, that may take time. You may say, hey, I need a better job to get some more money to invest in a physical workstation. Totally fine, but that's something that you want to keep in mind if you're going to take this coding lifestyle serious, okay? Now we have our developer stations ready to go. Now we can code, okay? So first things first, let's code. First things first, we are going to make sure that we know what we want to code. If we want to code a web page, because what this lesson right here is about. Let's create a web page from HTML and CSS. So we have to plan it out. What do we want that web page to look like? Like the titles, the colors, what type of web page, what images, all that good jazz. What I like to do is this is the time where I take out an actual piece of paper, pencil, pen, and start drawing out the layout. What do I want it to say, look like, and all this stuff. Now, if you are addicted to the digital lifestyle like myself, then you would use apps like, Whiteboard or whatever the case may be. I think I have a whiteboard here. Yeah, whiteboard. You're actually going to draw out your web page. What do you want your web page to look like? Now, I would say keep it simple. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. I'm not calling it stupid, but keep it simple. Like, don't get all crazy, especially this your first time ever working with HTML and CSS to where you haven't even you wasn't part of that MySpace era to where you was getting all these crazy MySpace pages. I would say keep it very, very simple. Right now, maybe do something that is like a bold title and an image or something. I would say do something like, okay, so this is my web page. I'm not great artiste, but let's just say this is your web page, right? And then we have our URL bar. And our URL bar will probably say, obviously they'll have our HT. I have a pen for this, for things like this, but I'm gonna just use my mouse. Right, so this kind of what it'll look like. W. Now don't talk about me in this, okay? This is tech, not an art class. Dot, whatever your web page is, your domain is, okay? So we have that at the top, and let's say that you wanted to name it, you know, Tech Speaks. Well, obviously you wouldn't name it that because, you know, that's my name. And if I see you using it, I'm going to hit you with this copyright. But anyway, Tech Speaks, right? So let's just say that you wanted the title to be really big. And you're going to say, this is what it looks like. Okay. And then maybe you want a logo right here, right? We're going to say the logo. Tech Speaks picture. That's why I say get a mouse, because I'm doing this on this trackpad and it's sticky. Okay, a logo. And then maybe you want a paragraph of an about me or whatever the web page is. And then let's say, I don't know, you wanted to have, well, that's going into CSS, so I don't want to get crazy with that. And that's it. Let's just say that, let's just call that that. You know, we have a web page, we have our title, we have an image, we have, you know, some paragraphs, whatever. And we'll just keep it simple like that because we want to add in extra stuff. Like maybe the background is red, right? Or some red stuff around it. I don't know. And then maybe you have like something at the bottom that that blinks or that you can click. Oh, let's call this a button. That looks like a crazy button, but whatever. Create your web page, plan it out, figure out what colors, what images. Do you want a button? Do you want it to click somewhere? What is it? Now, this is just a web page. It's not going to be a website, okay? A website is more that a website means that there's a bunch of pages together to make it a full site. We're not going to do that. We're just going to create a simple web page so we can host it on the internet. And then once you know how to do those steps, you can create multiple pages to create it, to create like a, you know, a website. Okay. So you got your plan, you got your layout. Good, good, good. Now, once your plan is done and you say, this is what I want, you want to bring out your text editor. All right. My text editor is Notepad++. I'm going to start a new doc here because it should be plain and simple, just like this, right? There's nothing to it. We know we have a plan. Now it's time to code that plan. Okay, now we can start coding. Now, before we even hop in, because you're newbies, the first thing, let me see. Man, can I pull this up here? No. The first thing, it's just, okay, here we go. The first thing I like to do is have a reference, a cheat sheet. Now, for beginners, I like you guys to go ahead and go to my favorite place, which is w3schools.com. This is my cheat sheet. You know, if you have another place where it gives you the actual syntax for these languages, by all means, use it. But if you don't, and most of you guys are totally brand new, this is where you want to go. We schools, W3 schools, I don't know. But yes, you can see here, it has everything. And it literally tells you step by step on what to do, right? So you come to learn HTML and it literally gives you damn near all the syntax you need to create a web page, right? If you, again, you haven't even been on the MySpace era, or I would say even if you have, because maybe you're not really, you know, using this knowledge, make sure that you go through this this HTML tutorial on We Schools, because I can only show you with so much. I'm gonna go over this, but this site goes into detail, like in depth of, you know, how to really create a HTML site, right? A web page. So if you totally brand new, haven't even heard what HTML is, don't even know what it stands for, or they've even, you know, again, heard about it, this is where you actually want to start to get the fundamental knowledge so you can build upon what we have going on. All right. Again, it's a very, very good starter. I'm going to make sure I put it. Let me make sure I put this in our Notion because I want you guys to know exactly where to go. Okay, perfect. So boom, this is really good. Again, this is the cheat sheet, excuse me, because it gives you the basic standard makeup, right? And of a web page, because you need all of these things to have a web page. And it gives you see your references. It gives you elements and, HTTP messages or color names, right? For simplicity, let's say we want to make a background black, we would use this code. We would want to make it aqua, we would use this code. Beige, this code. I don't know these at the top of my head, and it's not required for you to know this stuff on the top of your head, but you should know where to get it, and you should know how to implement it. Most of the time, just like in network engineering, as software development, software engineering, you are Googling how to do things. You're a master Google. You're saying, okay, a client comes to you and say, hey, I would like a simple web page that, displays my business information. I want a landing page, a web page that displays my basic business information, just an about me. And I wanted these colors and I wanted this and I wanted that. You are not going to do all of that from your knowledge. Yes, you will have like muscle memory if you've been doing this for so long, like you're always building these type of sites. But even if you are, 9 times out of 10, you're going to go to somewhere like this, some type of resource like this, and utilize the syntax, utilize the code, and implement it in your code, right? You'll utilize things like you see these tags, right? I don't know all these tags. I don't know how to create which tag to create a button, or to cite something here, or to center it. Well, I do know how to center because I do it so many times, but create a list or create whatever I want to create on this, or put images, make it bold. I am not doing that from my memory. I'm literally Googling how to do that, and I'm going to put it in my code. So live example. I want to create a web page. This is really simple. Basically, before you even get into it, I want to, let me just go back. I want to let you guys, or express to you guys, that all of this is really learning how to learn. You're not really learning technology. You're learning how to learn, period. So therefore, you can learn anything, which can include technology, right? Technology advances every day. It changes every day. There's no way that one person is going to be an expert. They may be a subject matter expert, like somebody just may be an expert in HTML or CSS or Java or networking or whatever the case may be. And networking is a broad scale. However, essentially, you're still learning your craft. You're becoming an expert in it because you've seen these things and you know how to go find the answer to your subject, right? So that's exactly what we're doing here. We are learning how to learn. We're learning how to research. We're learning how to Google, which is synonymous to research, right? and find the answer to accomplish the mission at hand. Okay, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just, can you complete the mission, right? It's not like school, right, where you study, and then you take the test at the end. No, you're most likely taking the test up front, and then at the end you get the lesson. After the test, you get the lesson. So, so this is, again, just to have a real life example of something I will do is, hey, we want to learn HTML. I want to build a website. This will be the first thing I do. I need to get my starting point, right? This is basically the backbone to any code. So I would come down, I can copy this. And I don't recommend that you copy and paste because it doesn't help you learn. But I'm going to copy and paste it just so I have it in front of me. And I want you to literally type out every single code, every single syntax, so you can understand how to code, right? You can understand what's going on as you code. As we get more further along in this, like when we start doing Python and probably even JavaScript, but more with Python, we'll start adding more things to our code, like comments and stuff and things that'll help us. But for right now, I want you guys to get your head wrapped around the basics, right? The beginner basics of what we did during MySpace days, right? That's all we're doing is just reiterating the MySpace. And if you haven't been, if you're not in that era, totally fine. That's why we're doing a recap, okay? So first things first, let me blow this up here. All right, so first things first, we're gonna write always our doc type, which is our document type. It basically just defines what type of document this is. This is an HTML document, HTML5 to be exact. So we would do, oh, okay, let's do here. There we go. We would do a sign, explanation, DOCTYPE, and then what document type is it? It's an HTML. So put HTML. And then we close it with our brackets. Let's see what else we have. We have our HTML. Basically, it's just an element in an HTML page. They call it the root element. So we're just going to declare it once again that it is HTML. Again, it's just a root element. Now we're going to have our heading. Our heading is our meta information. We put head. Well, is it head? Well, we can put head. It's our meta information, which is basically meta information is information that it tells you about the documentation. As you start getting more into building websites, meta information is very important to change for SEO or PPC, which is search engine optimization, or pay per click. So sometimes website owners want to get their website to be ranked on the first page of Google. So let's say when you Google Technically Speaking, my SEO, my metadata, which encompass my SEO, needs to be correct. Need to have the correct information so I can rank how I need to rank. So if people's looking for technology, they're looking for coding, they're looking for something, I put that in my metadata. So when you are searching on the internet, relevant searches come up. And I want to be part of the relevant search if you're looking for some type of technology information. Okay. The next we have title. Let me see, TITLE, title. And again, it's just titles the web page. Title it whatever you want to title, whatever the web page is titled. Again, in a website, you have different pages and they have different titles. So they may have a title like, okay, this is home, or may have a title that says members, or may have a title that says blogs because you're on the blog page, or you're on the member page, or you're on the forum page. Whatever the case may be, it's a title. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Title, body, right? BODY. We have body, and again, that's the body of the visible content of your web page. The body of the content is what's visible. So everything in the body section, let me come over here on my mouse. In the body section is encompass whatever. So let's say we want to do a heading. Is it in here? Yeah, H1, a header. Excuse me. And it's, what the heading is. We already had our heading. It was like text speaks was our heading. So we can put that there. Another thing that's in our framework of HTML, where we have P. P is a paragraph that just signifies, defines a paragraph. Heading 1, I think I put heading 1. Yeah, heading 1 just means that it is a large heading. I can do heading 2, which is a medium heading, or heading 3, which is a small header. So I can do like something really big, and then I could name the heading 2 and heading 3 probably like titles of the paragraph, but heading 1 is the title of the page, or whatever, however how you want to do it. That's one thing why I like about front end development, which is HTML, CSS, and Java. Front end, because it's all about your creativity. How do you want to create this? How do you want it to look? As long as the client is not real granular, like, oh, make sure that the paragraph has this going on in the center, boom, 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 or it's to the left, and da, da, da. As long as the client's not that anal on how they want the design of their website to be, you can really just go at it, use your own creativity. And that's something I definitely like about front end development, right? You get so crazy, but sometimes you get too crazy to where it's like, it's too much going on, and now the users, the site visitors, are now confused on the theme of the website because it's all over the place. So that's a lot of times they like it simple and sleek. Technically Speaking's website is very simple and sleek, because I just want you to get your information, see some things, and go about your business. I don't want you to get too caught up in all the fancy theatrics, because then you can get lost. You probably wouldn't know where to go, where to start, where to begin, where to end, and you wouldn't really, come on board to my services or, my features, because hey, you got saying you got a lot going on. You got overwhelmed. And then, as you can see here, I'm looking up at the top, you can see that we have our enclosed tags, enclosed brackets here, where we have body. And we have another one that's enclosed /HTML. These are closing tags, right? HTML tags. Now, tags are literally just elements. They're named elements surrounded by these brackets, right? These little, less than, equal sign, right? So if we come down, so we talked about that. So if we come down, we have our bracket, right? And we do our tag name. So our tag name is HTML, body, P for paragraph, H1, H2, heading, title, head, those are our tags, right? And then we close the tag, and then we put our content, whatever content the tag is wanting, whether it's the body, the paragraph, the heading, title, whatever it is. So we put that there, and then we close it by putting the same tag, but we add is that a forward slash? Let me see, that's a backslash. Yeah, we add a forward slash. I guess it's a forward slash. Tag name, the same tag name, and then we have our other bracket, and that is, our that's our tag. That's exactly how it's is how the computer is going to be able to read it, because we have an opening tag and a closing tag. Okay. Again, this says this is start with opening and it's closing because it has our forward slash. That's how you know that it's closing. It always comes in pairs. You always have to put it in a pair. So as you can see here, I have an opening paragraph, and somewhere in my doc type, like under it, when I'm done with my paragraph, I'm going to have to close my paragraph with this. You always have to open a tag and close your tag in order for it to display, in order for the computer to read it properly. It has to be open and closed, okay? And again, the end tag is always starts with the forward slash, okay, before the tag name. That's very important to understand, because you may run into an error to where you're putting your coding out, you're putting everything, you have your paragraph, you got an image, you got all that stuff. You're like, why isn't it showing up? What's going on? It's because you probably didn't close your tag, okay? So that's very important. I had a lot of issues with that. I had a lot of issues with the closing tag, because I would just be going in, can't wait to create, and a lot of times I didn't even have a closing tag, so it didn't even show up properly. So yeah, and then the body, as you can see, body's opening right here, body's closed. Let's close down here, and what I'll probably do is close the head, because the head is at the top, so I'll close it up here as well, and then I'll probably put a little space, and then anything in my body, all this right here is all what will show up in a web browser. This stuff, anything outside of the opening body, closing body will not be displayed by the web browser. It's just for the computer to read it, right? To understand, okay, this is what's going on. This is how this should be displayed. And then the body is what will be displayed, okay? So let's go ahead and close that out, right? Start from the bottom. Let's come here, take that out, and let's do the title will be my first web page, right? Let's close that title. Okay, and then in your body, in your heading, let's say I am learning. You know, I don't really know how to spell, but I'm not here to spell. I'm not Akila, I'm in tech. Okay, and then paragraph is, we have to close it. Remember, I have issues with closing my tags. So /H1, right, same thing. And then my paragraph will probably say like, oh, I am learning. So this is a test to see how it will look after being saved and opened in a web browser. I don't know. And then I like to put it up here right after I end what I need to end. And then, you know, body, whatever, that's it. That's all I got for you. Okay, cool. So now we created a simple web page. Now what we can do is we can say file, and we want to save it. We have to save the file to our computer. So we're going to do save file, save as. When we do save as, we have to save the file as a specific type, an HTML type. Sometimes they, you know, you set it to like UTF-8 encoding or something like that. But with these new Windows 10, Windows 11, you can just find HTML. It should be alphabetical order. Do I not know? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Okay, H. Yeah, there we go. Hypertext markup language file. If you didn't already know what HTML stands for, it stands for hypertext markup language, right? It is a markup language, the framework for web pages. So that's why it's not really a program language, because you're not programming anything. It is a markup language. Again, if I was to explain every little thing about HTML and CSS, we would be here for a couple hours. I don't want to get convoluted in that, because I just want you guys to understand the basics of coding, figure out what you want to create, want to code, want to program, and then get deeper into that, right? So yeah, anyway, whatever. So we save it as, you know, HTML, and you also can save it as index. Index is another one. Let me just see. I don't know. I don't think you can. I don't think you can. It doesn't matter because HTML is already here, so we don't need to get crazy. And then we can say web page. I don't know. Name it something regular. I'm like to save it to my desktop. You can save it to wherever you want to save it to, but it's just easier to find stuff that's located on my desktop. So then I save it. Save. Now, let me see. Hold on. Let me see. I want to show you guys where it's going to come up at. Hold on. I'm going to share my other screen because I want you to see the desktop where we at. Share screen 1. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen. And you see web page is saved as Chrome because Chrome is my default browser. Microsoft Edge may be yours, or, you know, Brave, I don't know, but this is mine, right? Web page. I'm going to click on that. and it's going to bring up my web page. And as you can see, it's very, 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 very basic. It says, and again, it's only showing what's in the body. This is, I am learning. I am learning this this is a test. I am learning. So this is a test to see how it will look after being saved and opened in a web browser. This is what it looks like. We created a web page, period. Now, it's not posted on the internet, but we created a web page. So from here, this is where you can get creative now, because you already have the basics, you have the markup, you have the framework of a web page. We did it. It just doesn't show everything. It only shows what's in the body. But the fact that it's displayed let us know that our framework is good. Now we can start adding in images and colors and whoop-de-doop-de-doop-de. Okay. Now, let me share this screen. Come over here. And we're sharing. Okay, cool. So now I saved it. You see how I did its own little thing. You can add in more stuff. How do I add more stuff? What do I know what to do? Where's my Brave at? This is where this is a resource. This comes in handy because you now can be like, okay, I want to add a list of things. And then boom, it tells you how to add stuff, right? How to add damn near everything, right? Defines a clickable button. Now you can add a button. Like you could just create so many things, right? Like look at all this. When I first started, I literally, I print all of this out and I was just literally using it. But I decided that I'm just gonna use this as a resource. And if I need to do anything, I can literally come here and add a list, right? A list item. Listen, it's the possibilities are just so crazy. Now, we know HTML. This was HTML right here. It is just the basics. It's just the framework. That's all it is. Now we want to get fancy. We're going into CSS, right? CSS is going to allow us to make our web page just a little more fancy, right? And when I say like, as far as like fancy, this is where we add like a border, moving text. Again, it's just the language to describe the style of an HTML document. That's why it says HTML and CSS, they come together. We usually don't say it separate because HTML is literally just used for the framework. And then CSS comes in and be like, okay, let's do some style. Okay, CSS is just cascading style style sheets. We can come over here and just see. CSS. As you can see, what is this? Cascading style something. Why don't they want to tell me what it stands for? CSS, introduction, there we go. Yes, it is cascading style sheets. Style sheets. I don't know why would I say sheet styles, whatever. But that's what CSS is. Like right here, it says describe how HTML elements are to be displayed on the screen, paper, or the media on your web browser, right? So that's where you can add different styles, different things, different moving text, or whatever the case may be. You want to let your HTML only be the framework, and then your CSS becomes the fluff. I wrote a blog about this, honestly. Let me see. Technically I spelled that wrong. I know y'all be spelling my stuff wrong, but it's okay. You know, it's unique. Teknicallyspeaking.com. And I wrote a blog. I know I wrote a blog, and I want you guys to go over it if you haven't already. So this is where you put your email in and stuff, you know, so I can get them, you know, become a member of the site. But blogs, yes. HTML and CSS. Listen. Okay, I tell you exactly how to build a web page, but you know, this is the video version. But yes, okay, here we go. So HTML is just the bones, right? And then you got CSS. Well, JavaScript is like the veins and the muscles and stuff. It gives it body. It gives the document body. But CSS is like the prettiness. Like, okay, this is my skin. This is what's on my skin. It's the outer part. But HTML is our bones. Okay. So look at CSS as the styling and look at HTML as just the bones, okay? We don't want to color our bones. We don't care about all that. So use CSS. Again, this is where you're gonna use all the syntax. Like you're gonna have, let's see, a background. Want to add a background, you add background color, background image, background on repeat, you know. Again, it's the same thing. It's just you're actually adding in images. You're actually adding in styles, as you can see right here. Styles here, and we have an image. We have border, and we have different things, as you can see. So let's go ahead and say file. Let's save as. We're going to save it as what again? HTML. And let's do HTML. There we go. And then we're going to name it and then we're going to put it desktop and then save, right? So let me go to my desktop and let's bring up GAF, and then this is what will be displayed. Okay, this is the website. This is my food business, Good Ass Food LLC, coming soon. Eat good ass food. Go to the best site to learn what CSS is at Technically Speaking, because this is, you know, a border. This was another CSS. It's a tooltip. So if you click over eat good ass food. All right. It has my logo and it has a link. If you click on Technically Speaking, I don't know if it'll go anywhere. Oh yeah, it goes to my site. Okay. So yeah, yep, it goes to my site. So yeah, this is a simple web page that we created with HTML and CSS. As you can see, it's just bones and skin, but we want to add, you know, JavaScript to give it beefy, to add it those veins and muscles and blood work, right? But this is very basic, and this is something that, you know, will still get you a job, a 60K a year job at minimum, right? So you completed that. Like I said, go through it, go through some things, go through CSS and add the different types of elements that you want to add. Like I said, CSS saves a lot of work for us. So now we don't have to use HTML and get it convoluted and all these other things. We can just use CSS to, you know, just to make it, you know, more beautiful. And again, we are doing it in a more very basic old school way. Usually we use an IDE, but we're going to use our text editor because I want you guys to understand the basis of coding, because this is the basics. Like, you need to know, get familiar with text editor and creating code, creating syntax, writing out the syntax. Okay. Now we just basically have to host this on the internet. Okay. So now we want to host this on the internet, right? Now, as you can see here, my website is just my local. It is my local computer. It's on my desktop, and that's how the only way that you can access the site is if I give you this document to host on your computer. But let's say that I want other people to go to www.whatever.com and look at this, thegoodassfood.com, and look at this. What I would need is to, one, buy a domain, but I have to find somewhere where to host my site, a hosting platform. I like GoDaddy. GoDaddy is just really simple for me. GoDaddy is really good. Again, it's simple for me. So I suggest you start somewhere like that. And you would definitely need to ensure that you get a domain name. Now I'm just going to sign into my account because I already have my domain and I'm not finna buy another one. So you will go into your account, you have your domain, you purchased it, you already know what you want your domain to be, your www. whatever you want your website to go to, and you would go into hosting. Hosting in WordPress is what it'll be labeled as right here. Okay, and it'll go to that, and you're basically going to select a like a hosting site, right? And it's going to be a type of cPanel product. So right here, I low-key already did it because I had this class last year and I didn't really erase everything. But y'all can see my website was Good Ass Food LLC. So I bought the Good Ass Food LLC domain and I connected it to a cPanel, the cPanel plan, which if it's not right here, you'll have to, click on it, actions, and click on it. But like I said, it's right here. So once you click on the cPanel, you will have to buy this. I believe it's like $9.99. But you will end up going into your settings. So you purchase your domain and it says product, however you want to host. You will choose cPanel, economy, web hosting with cPanel, right? Click on it, go through it. All in all, you'll spend like $10 plus tax, right? Boom. Now you're here. You'll go into your settings, click on the three dots, you'll go into your settings. Sorry, I'm at work. You're going to your settings and it will load and it says, okay, yes, I don't want to participate in any program. You have temporary disabled cPanel mail. Okay, it's cool, whatever. So you come in here, you're basically going to select your cPanel admin. Let me see here. Oh, excuse me. Your right here, file manager. There we go. Sorry, file manager. And when you go into your file manager, you're basically now is about to select and set up this HTML file that we just created and basically send it to this hosting site. So now the site can host it on the internet. Right? If you are not familiar with domains and hosting and stuff, you should need to revisit phase 1 of the course so you can get an understanding of how computers talk to each other via the internet, right? We're not going to go over that. I don't want to make this video long. I want to make it very concise to the point, but that's what we're doing essentially. So we're going to click our public HTML, and we're going to add in our document. So you can delete your current files, right? You can keep this bin, but delete anything outside of this folder, right? I already have this up here. Do I want to delete it? I'll keep it. But what I can do is once you delete everything and you only have this folder, you're going to upload your file, okay? So you're going to say upload, upload here. Let me click our tab, upload, and you're going to select a file and you're going to upload desktop and upload this file, right? GAF or webpage, okay? Once you open it, you click open and it's going to upload. Okay, I'm actually going to go through it because my computer's running real slow and I don't want to take again this video forever. But once it uploads, it's going to go right here and you're going to only have this bin and have whatever you named your document. At the time, I kept it as index.html, but whatever you named it what you named it. Okay. Now you can open a tab in your browser and go to the domain. So let's go here, open a tab, and what was my domain? www.godaddyfoodllc.com. Okay, you're gonna go to it, and boom. Now your site is hosted on the web, on the internet. Now it's not secure because we didn't add all those SSLs and everything and HTTPS. We didn't add that. However, at least our website is on the internet. So now you can literally just give someone your domain name and say, check me out. And then boom. For me, I would say you guys should create a digital resume. You should get your resume together. If you don't already have a website plan, if you do your own thing. But if you don't, you should create a digital resume, right? Resume, put a picture there and make it really cute. Make some things bold. You can make the background, make something like this to where it's scrolly back and forth, a tooltip, give a link What is this? Good ass food. What is this link to? It links to goodassfood.com. Now, goodassfood.com is me as well, but let's not go there. So yeah, you do what you need to do, add some emojis, add a link, but this is a resume. And then buy your domain name, let's say your name is, Jeffrey Campbell, buy www.jeffreycampbell.com, right? www.jessicakw.com, www.sarahwilliams.com, or .co or .biz or whatever. Maybe somebody has your name because your name is common, but buy your own domain, buy your own name as a domain, and then put your resume, create it in HTML, CSS, and then host it on the internet. And then when you are out here trying to get jobs or trying to market yourself or just showing folks that, hey, I'm accomplished, you say, hey, go to www.sarahmills.com, www.jessicakw.com. And, it's so cool. It's it really puts you, sets you at a different bar. And that's really it with creating a web page from HTML and CSS and host it on the internet. Like, it's really that simple. It's just now it's up to you to add your own personality, your own creativity onto this page. Create more pages and create them into a site. We'll get there, but we're not there yet. So yeah, make it aesthetically pleasing. Use this time to just get creative, right? Next video, we're going to add JavaScript to our HTML to give it some meat and potatoes to our soup. And then we're good to go. So I tried to make this as simple as possible. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please reach out to the folks in the course, which is in the Discord, and also to myself. I am always here. Reach out in the coding channel and say, hey, I need help. I don't understand tags. I don't understand elements. I don't understand, how do I add a tooltip? Like, how do I do this? How do I do that? Like, it's okay to ask. No question is a stupid question, okay? It's a stupid question if it's not answered, if it's not asked, if it's not asked. So ask your question. I'm here to help. I'm here to guide you because it's all new for all of us. Now, you did what you need to do. Let's get ready for JavaScript. Okay? I guess I'll see you last night time. We'll be butterflies.
Technically speaking.